So the question I'm probably asked the most often is, how do you make honey? And this is the part where I usually laugh and say, I don't make honey, the bees do. And then I get like an exasperated expression like, you're so funny. But it's true. The bees make the honey, I just harvest it. And that's usually what the people are asking is, how does the honey get from the hive into the bottle that they buy from, me or anywhere else? So it starts with taking the honey from the hive, and you can see this is beautiful, beautiful frame, full capped honey. So what we do is we remove the caps from this. The caps are over the honey, and we're going to take the caps off. We're going to put the frame in this extractor. Now I took the basket out so you could see just what it looks like inside. It's just a barrel, with a hole in the middle for a ball bearing that the extractor sits on. It's motorized, and that's going to spin out the honey, and it's going to come out of this honey gate here. And when it comes out of that honey gate, it is going to run through this. It's a double filter. This is 2 pieces. There's a coarser filter on top and a finer mesh underneath. And the honey runs through the filters into a bucket with a honey gate on it, and then we're going to bottle it. So I'm going to put this back together and start that process and just show you little clips of each one, and then everyone will see how we bottle honey. Okay, so confession time. This is called an uncapping scratcher or an uncapping fork, which the name implies you would use to scratch the cappings off of the comb, which is actually not true. I was doing it the wrong way for, a while, until I learned last year that you actually, instead of scratching the cappings, which creates a whole mess of wax, you actually use it to get under the cappings, like this, and you lift them off like that. And that leads to a lot less wax cappings clogging your strainers. So for every frame I need to go through and remove all the cappings, because if the cappings are on, the honey can't come out before it goes into the extractor. So I'm going to do that now for all these frames I'm extracting today. A lot of people ask me, why take the cappings off like this? Why not just take all the comb off and just strain the honey out of that? And the reason you try to take the cappings off this way is because you want to remove as little wax as possible from the comb. You got to think that, it takes the bees quite a bit of energy and effort to rebuild this comb. So the less you damage it, the quicker they can go to filling it back up with honey, rather than drawing more wax and fixing cells and, doing all that good stuff. So when you're removing the caps, the goal is to try to remove just the caps and as little, other cell wax as possible. That's the goal anyway. But I just finished up this side of this frame. You can see what that looks like. You see there's still some wax in the middle, but it's all broken up, so that'll just spin out. Now to do the rest. Alright, so there's our cappings from 6 frames. And here's our extractor. We have got 6 frames loaded in here. There's actually room for 9. I can put another one on the end here, like this. But I'm not going to, so I put one there. I gotta flip it to get both sides. This I don't have to flip it when they're like this. So the honey gate's open down here. And that's where the magic's gonna happen shortly, once I put all the pieces back together. Okay. So our bucket's in place. We have our double strainer. We're going to go up here to the control box. We're going to turn that on to low. And just let it spin. Start off slow, and then we'll speed up as things get cooking. If you go too fast, too quick, the whole thing's gonna run across the room like a unbalanced washing machine. Trust me, I've done it. see now how high I can get it before we start to get too wobbly. Because this thing spins fast. Alright, I think we're right about there. That should be good for now. Faster. Special thanks to my brother Owen who helped me get this honey. Another question a lot of people ask is how do you get the bees off of the frames, off the comb? And a lot of people do it a lot of different ways. Some people use something called an escape board, that essentially lets bees go down but not back up. So put that on, a day or two, before they go to harvest. The only thing is that means the bees can't protect the honey. So if something gets up in there, they can't get up there to, some of the pests like hive beetles or ants or anything. Other people use fume boards, which think of it as like a sort of like a fabric board that you put this chemical on that bees can't stand the smell of, and you put it on top and the sun hits it and the bees all go down out of the honey super, and then you pick the honey super up and take it away. What I do is I just pull the frames out, I shake them off, I shake the bees off the frames in front of the hive, the bees go back in, and I take the frames and put new ones in there. And I use a bee brush to get off, the stragglers, which is what my brother was doing. He was the bee brush guy. So if you look, it looks like the honey's finally starting to crawl out of there. It's not exactly a fast process, but it's going to drip down on the edge. Unfortunately, there's a metal ring around the bottom, and I can't really get the strainer in well, so I end up having to hold it like this so it all gets into the strainer. And then this will go on for a while until all the honey spun out. Probably do this for 5 to 10 minutes. And then take those frames out and put the a new set of frames in, and then spin that out. And if you look, you can see there's wax pieces mixed in with that honey that's going to go through this double filter. The top filter gets the big pieces, and the bottom filter gets the smaller pieces. So there's no wax chunks in the honey. Not that there's anything wrong with the wax chunks, but it's a cosmetic thing. A lot of people would rather not have wax chunks in their honey. So that's it. That is honey extraction. If you're curious, this is what the comb looks like when it comes out of the extractor. All nice and empty and ready to be filled up again. So I'm going to take this super and give it to my strongest hive. And yeah, we're just going to let the honey rest, let it all drain out of the extractor, and that's all she wrote. So thank you for watching. As always, you can find us on Facebook at Honeyhound Farm, on facebook.com/honeyhoundfarm, or our website, honeyhoundfarm.com. Thank you. Good night.